Shalom and greetings everyone. Good afternoon from Jerusalem, Jane. I want to give you a current news update out of Israel also, so you know what's happening here, so you know how to specifically pray for Israel. For the Christian world, I know that you are right in the middle of Christmas preparations. The big Christmas travel have started for people to travel all over the world to come together with their families for the Christmas holiday on Sunday. Here in the Holy Land, things are anything but peaceful. Yesterday, Israel was attacked from Syria, shooting into the Golan Heights, and Israel retaliated. And right now, only a short while ago, Israel was attacked with anti-tank missiles fired from Hezbollah inside Lebanon towards Israel. And there were actually 2 civilians who got injured and several cars was set on fire. Things are getting more and more intense and escalating on the northern part of Israel. Funerals and events happening in the northern part today, or was scheduled to happen today, was actually cancelled due to the high risk and due to the high alert of the security situation. Every day Hezbollah is attacking into Israel, is firing into Israel, and Israel is retaliating. So that was the latest. I had just reported about that on my social media. And again, I cannot encourage you enough to follow my Telegram channel for minute-to-minute updates. If you follow me on Facebook, you are completely missing out because Facebook don't allow anyone to see when I share anything. So I had just shared videos and posts about anti-tank missiles being fired into Israel, 2 people, innocent civilians being injured. And I had actually just said that yes, we are at war in Gaza with ISIS, Nazi, Hamas, which is horrendous. But the big war is going to come when it's going to explode on the northern border with Hezbollah, who has 150,000 rockets and missiles pointed at Israel, and they can reach the whole nation. So I had just shared about that on my social media, and then my phone went absolutely crazy with red alerts, and a massive barrage of rockets were fired from Hamas inside Gaza to the southern part of Israel, towards Ashdod, Ascalon, the Gaza border communities, but also firing towards central Israel and towards Tel Aviv, which means again millions of people in Israel are running for their lives, running to bomb shelters. Some of them, they have less than half a minute to find shelter. So a massive barrage of 30 rockets were fired into Israel. Again, I shared the videos on my social media, and I was actually saying, good grief, look at this. Someone had been close to and actually managed to film when that massive barrage of rockets were fired into Israel. Again, we can say Israel have the biggest Iron Dome, and that is the hand of God Almighty above His land, His Holy Land. And then the second Iron Dome is the Iron Dome, and they were shooting down most of these rockets and fragments of these rockets, and are always coming down. So now the police are out looking for these fragments. I just saw actually something said that they have found a piece of rocket fragments in a school in Tel Aviv. So that's why when you hear the red alerts, run for shelter, but then you have to stay there, because when the Iron Dome are shooting down, these debris and fragments are falling down, and that's why people have to stay extra long in the protected area. Today, no rockets fired towards Jerusalem, but Hamas did go out and take responsibility and say, we fired that barrage of rockets and we were aiming at Tel Aviv. So things are still very, very hectic here in Israel, being fired on from Gaza, from Syria, from Lebanon, and also still the Houthis down in the south. So we really, really need your prayers. The IDF is really still taking ground inside the Gaza Strip. It is unbelievable. Hamas has turned the Gaza Strip into one huge terrorist and tunnel network terrorist nest. They are everywhere. They have tunnels everywhere. Schools, hospitals, playgrounds, people's private homes, tunnel shafts, all over the Gaza Strip. That is what they have used hundreds of millions of dollars to build this very sophisticated tunnel networks with electricities. That's where they're living. That's where these tunnel rats, that's where Hamas, ISIS, all of these terrorists, that's where they are living. You see Gaza above ground and then you see Gaza below. I'm telling you, if you speak to the soldiers, I think they are flabbergasted of what they are finding inside the Gaza Strip, of these tunnel locations, tunnel network everywhere. And in people's private home, all the innocent civilians in Gaza, well, they have tunnel shafts in many of their apartments because they support Hamas. And Hamas terrorists, they have families throughout the Gaza Strip. So it's absolutely horrendous. I have said this before. This is what your mainstream media should focus about. What the Israeli Defense Forces are finding inside the Gaza Strip. I also shared a very emotional video of a commander who was speaking to his troops when they were blowing up a big area inside the Gaza Strip in Khan Yunis, terror tunnels where terrorists came up and managed to murder some of their fellow soldiers, some of their good buddies. So in honor of those, he was speaking to the whole platoon and talking to them, and he was saying, we are standing here with, a heavy heart and tears in our eyes, and then they blew up this massive tunnel network where the terrorists came up and managed to murder Israeli soldiers. Every day, I'm sharing about more soldiers being killed within the past 24 hours. Every day, the Israeli Defense Forces is updating the webpage where you can see the names, the age of the soldiers who was killed the day before. And every day, that's the first thing I do every morning when I wake up. I cannot remember a day where I haven't had to do that, to say we bow our heads in respect and we honor these soldiers who was killed defending the Jewish homeland against Nazi ISIS Hamas. This morning I had to start and say 3 soldiers were killed. The day is not over, so more can come in. So you can see, what are we, nearly day 80 days into the war, and Hamas still managed to fire this massive barrage of rockets towards Tel Aviv. So we encourage the IDF, every single soldier who's putting their life on the line. And you have to remember, every soldier has a family waiting for them to come home. They are somebody's husband, somebody's son, somebody's father who's just waiting for them to come home. So I honor, I'm sending all my gratitude, my honor, my appreciations to every single soldier in the Israeli military who's putting their life on the line, defending this land, whether you're on the northern border or if you are deep inside in Gaza, or the ones who is out in Judea and Samaria, of course also the one down in the south. What are they finding, these soldiers, when they are moving around and they are getting into people's homes? Well, yesterday one of the soldiers actually revealed in a video that in a civilian apartment in Gaza, in the children's room, amongst books, what book did they find? Hitler, Mein Kampf, in a children's room inside Gaza. We know very well that these are ISIS-Hamas terrorists who brutally slaughtered, executed, raped, mutilated 1,400 people, taking 240 hostages inside the Gaza Strip, still firing rockets into Israel, which they have done since they brutally took over the Gaza Strip. Hamas brutally took over in 2007 and killed members of Palestinian Authority, Fatah, in a bloody coup in 2007. Israel has no other option but to eradicate every single terrorist inside the Gaza Strip. Your nation would not agree to having a neighbor living right door who could fire rockets into you at any given time they want to. Why should Israel? So we absolutely support the Israeli Defense Forces in the operation that they are doing inside the Gaza Strip, and eventually one day we'll have to do something similar, of course bigger, in the north. You cannot have Hezbollah as an existential threat on your northern border at any moment, unleashing 100,000 rockets towards Israel. I want to end this video by showing you a special lady. I want to honor the memory of Esther Hogan, beautiful mother of 6 children. 3 years ago, she went out for a run, put on her sneakers, and she just went out for a run. She never came home. Her family started a search and they found her brutally murdered by an Arab Palestinian terrorist who literally crushed her head with a big rock, murdered for no other reason than being Jewish. The list of terror victims here in Israel, that grows every single year. Every single year, more and more families have to bury a loved one because the hatred towards the Jewish people is very much, is very much alive today. And that is why you and me cannot stay silent. But for such a time as this, we will stand with Israel. Please share out this video, as I am, oh goodness, so restricted in who is allowed to see my videos. I really, really appreciate it. Sorry for getting a sore throat. God bless Israel. Bye.